Today, two massive problems threaten our long-term survival. Everyone knows about the first. Climate change is already affecting how millions of people secure the necessary food and water to maintain decent lives. The second is closely related to the first. A relatively small number of people increasingly control how our food, water, energy, and other vital resources are utilized. Their motive is financial profit, and their belief is that such resources can only be efficiently managed by private ownership in a competitive market. This creates tremendous wealth for some and deprivation for many, and ultimately results in a divided, violent, and unsustainable world. We are already seeing it. The traditional alternative to this has been big government. Some countries nationalize important resources like water and oil and manage them from a central bureaucracy. While the intention is usually more equitable distribution, the result is often massive inefficiency and corruption. But a new model of economics and governance is emerging. In more and more domains of life, valuable resources are being managed by trustees and openly shared for the good of all. This is called a commons. A resource plus an involved community plus an agreed upon set of governing protocols equals a commons. Let's go over this again. A commons is a resource, something like your local water supply or a forest, plus a group of people who care about that resource, plus a set of rules for how it will be managed. This approach to managing our resources has always been with us. And more recently, new ones have emerged. Whenever people recognize a resource as valuable to their well-being and regulate it wisely for the common good, they have created a commons. At the biological level, this is how all healthy organisms work. All the individual parts are regulated for the good of the whole. The same principle applies to communities and the individuals within them. Yeah! But how do we apply this approach to the vast resources on which our survival depends? Could water, food, and energy be managed as a commons? Could we reconceptualize much of what is now privately owned as a valuable resource that must be managed for the good of all? We must. The immediate challenge is to protect existing commons from further commercial privatization. All around the world, people are increasingly recognizing that cooperation for the common good is the only route to a sustainable future. These decisions are made in local, state, and national legislatures, where the rules governing our common resources are written. Those who would exploit them for short-term profit are well-funded and well-organized. We invite you to join the growing movement of those who want to guarantee a viable future for all people. Our common resources must be managed wisely for our common good.